Good morning. Happy Monday, guys. Hi, how is everybody? This morning, I want to talk to you about ego and intuition development and how you need to smack that ego away. My name is Brandaline Johnson, and I'm a psychic medium, a spiritual development coach, and a personal transition and life purpose coach. One of my students that's taking my basic intuition development, psychic and mediumship development class brought up to me the fact that she's having a little bit of ego issues. She's starting to be really scared. So about using her intuition and worrying that she's going to be right or wrong. So I wanted to talk about that on today's scope very briefly. So in the beginning, when you don't have your intuition developed, and maybe certain things just come across your path, and you're like, holy crap, I knew that was going to happen, or I knew that guy was going to be a jerk. Good morning, Diana. Thank you for joining. Good morning, good morning. I have a cold, can you tell? I'm getting over it. But anyway, so then you think to yourself in the beginning, you're like, I must have just been really lucky, or I must have made that shit up, or I must be crazy, right? And that's your ego going, that this couldn't possibly be. I couldn't possibly know what that type of person was, or I couldn't have possibly known this was going to happen, right? So that's your ego. So two things will happen. Either you'll just completely stop. You won't try to use your intuition. You won't think of it any further, and you'll just go on with your daily life. Or you'll be like, I just don't know. I'm going to try to develop my intuition a little bit more. And so with the classes that I teach, a lot of my students will come in and they will be able to say what's behind a door on the very first week. They almost poop their pants, fall off their chair in amazement at how we are actually in connection with our inner guidance system, with our intuition. And it's just amazing. It's because, ask me, girl. Ask me some questions. So it's because the fact that we never really realized that we can actually do this. We've never actually tried to use this muscle. I know, right? I do feel better. I will be taking a nap. So in my class, you figure out what's behind a door in the very first week. You can start doing photo readings in the very first week. You can tell me what my living room looks like in the very first week. So you're super excited, right? Well, 2 or 3 weeks goes down the road and you're using your intuition and you're freaking phenomenal. I mean, you're telling somebody that they're a nurse with 3 kids, and they are, and you're like, holy shit, how did I do this? And then a little while down the road, all of a sudden, your ego jumps in. And guess what happens? Your ego starts to do that mind chatter crap. And it starts to say, well, you were just really lucky at that. Maybe you read something that she was a nurse and had 3 kids. How did you know that? Maybe you just made it up. You were just lucky. Maybe your ego just starts chattering, and so what happens is it starts closing your solar plexus chakra. You could feel your solar plexus chakra close right the heck up when you are in fear of using your intuition. And what does that do? It actually blocks the information coming to you. Fear freaking screws all this crap up, right? And then you might be fearful to attempt using that muscle again, and then what happens? Your ego wins. Bullcrap. Don't let that ego. Smack that ego. Smack it. So even though you just recently did this phenomenal freaking reading, right? Your ego is telling you just made that shit up. So number one, I want to go over a couple things. Number one, this is your muscle. It's not you. Okay, it's not you. It's a muscle that you developed so that you can speak to spirit or get information from higher realms. This is just a freaking muscle, right? And also, it is not you getting this information. You're not getting this information. Information is coming to you to come out of your mouth from spirit. Once spirit knows that you're going to work with them, they will never freaking leave you. As long as you're in love and light only. You definitely want to be love and light only. But Spirit is never going to freaking leave you. You think that you're doing work for them. You're the medium for this information of love and light only coming through from this guidance. Why the heck would your spiritual team leave you at that crucial moment? They're there. So, the other thing is, you have to trust them. You have to trust Spirit, because they're going to tell you, they're going to show you, say this, say this, say this. And if you're like, oh, I'm too scared, then pretty soon they're not going to say, no, I'm not twerking. That's hilarious. Pretty soon they're not going to say this, say this, say this, because, yeah, they are always there, right? I'm glad you get it. They won't keep showing you stuff if you don't say it. It's almost like you have to trust them so that they trust you. Does that make sense? Get the ego out of the way. It's not you. It's not you. It's Spirit telling you this information. And then the fear, again, if you have that fear, what happens is I see some of my students, they will stop going out on the limb. They'll just say what's the obvious or what feels the obvious. They won't go out on the limb where the good shit is. Out on the limb is where the juicy information is. Like I tell my students, if you think there's a pink, thank you, love and light. If you think there's a pink elephant behind the door, you better say there's a pink elephant behind the door. The juiciest and the most stuff that you think you shouldn't go after, that's where the good information is. So go ahead, go out there on the limb, right? It's only our ego that's scared as shit to be wrong, but it's not us being right or wrong. It's us receiving information, and Spirit will never leave you. Have faith. The more you have faith with them, the more doors they're going to open for you in your regular life too. Go balls out. That's what I wrote on my little notepad, so I remember to say everything. And then here's a couple tips for you guys. Yeah, see, we all feel that way. Even me, I've been doing this for a few years, and before I do like a fair or something, my ego jumps in the driving seat. It's like, oh, you're not gonna do good, blah 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 blah. So, did they call it the blah? Okay, I like that. I like that. So here's some tips that I like to give to people. Is number one, call on Archangel Michael and ask him to lift you out of ego, because ego is a place you don't want to be. Lift you out. And then I like to call on Archangel Jophiel. She helps with your thoughts. And tell her, keep my thoughts pure and clean for what I'm about to do. Don't let these egoic thoughts come into my head. And then Archangel Uriel is who I used to give me confidence. And he works with that solar plexus chakra. So clean the crap out of your solar plexus chakra. Make it big and shiny and floss it. Give it some little floss. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. And thank you guys for all the hearts and for sharing it with your followers and for sharing this on Twitter. Oh yeah, you have to see me or call me. I do so much stuff over the phone and over the internet, but totally you should come see me on TC. Okay, so then those are three. The Michael, Jophiel, Uriel, right? And then clean your solar plexus chakra, and then ground down to Mother Earth, where you feel more confident, where you feel safe and secure. Hug a tree, get rid of all the angst. And then something, number 6, something that somebody told me, thank you guys for following me, is just deliver the mail. It's not our job to open the mail and read it. It's not our job to figure out why we see a bicycle or a pink elephant. It's not our job. Remember, it's not us. It's Spirit. Just deliver the mail. Like, you wouldn't want the mail lady trying to figure out why you're getting a bill from the funeral home, right? It's not her job. Her job's just to put the mail in the mailbox. That is the most important advice that I think I might have ever gotten. Just say what you see, hear, feel, or know. Do not try to figure this crap out with your human brain. That's when your ego starts to paint its own picture, and that's when you're going to go off where you shouldn't be going. Just say what you see, hear, feel, or know. I hope this guys helped you guys with your confidence, with your ego. I hope it makes sense how you're doing great and then all of a sudden you feel like you're in the crapper, because that's the mind chatter. That's the ego. So anyway, everybody have a super awesome spiritual week. Invite Spirit in all of your life. Invite them to show you where to go, show you what to say, show you how to be, and I'm so glad that you guys are giving me all the feedback and like commenting and stuff. Yay! All right, peace out. I will do some more scopes later on this week. Okay, have a great day. Thank you, Nikki. Bye. 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 Stop. Stop. It doesn't want to stop.